Squirtle probably remembers that match very well.
Now, even though airplay is definitely, absolutely, without a doubt, the very best way to play on this map, sometimes players don't do that for some reason. So we could see anything here. It's not Stork who plays, though, so probably nothing embarrassing. Now, SOS, of course, is the opponent. Did defend a proxy gate already in an earlier Protoss versus Protoss. Now has to play a very different style because I'm pretty sure he's not going to be defending a proxy on this map. That would be... I don't think anyone would ever try that. There's like no way that that would ever work. Even if you blindly scouted your opponent in the right place, it would still take way too long to actually get there and get the proxy up. By the way, I wanted to mention Legend from StarTale, the former English commentary observer for the GSL, is actually in the studio today to support IM and some of his StarTale members. Met up with him during that quick break. Did not know he was here. And he's just here to support. Well, SOS looking a little bit stressed out here. But he was probably expecting to play a Protoss versus Protoss. The matchup he already prepared for today. On a map where airplay is quite common.
It's good for when you have a Protoss player, Ace player in your team. You know, send him out twice here with Ace, or rather Maze is the Ace match map. Got to be pretty happy with that pick here, being able to send out SOS once again. Squirtle, not having played, maybe has prepared a build for this map. Definitely possible. We're gonna have to see.
Squirtle had some problems actually in the lobby, but now everything is sorted out and he's back in. Countdown is getting up and ready. This is pretty tense, Brendan. We started things out with a lead for IM, and then JINAIR hitting back-to-back wins, bringing us to this ace match, the final conclusion. I feel like this is a great chance for IM to further their position in the top 4. But for JINAIR, they really, really need to win if they're hoping to go to the round 3 playoffs and prove that their victory in round 2 was not just a fluke, not just a lucky win. Both players now completely ready. The map is loaded. This is the ace match for Incredible Miracle versus JINAIR Green Wings here at the SPL.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
Up here in the top left of the map, Maze in the blue for Incredible Miracle. The Protoss player, excuse me, of course, it is going to be Squirtle.
You make it through that okay?
I'm all right, I'm all right. My eyes are watering. I'm like dying over here.
Get that intro
But it's
out.
Squirtle. Squirtle making my eyes water, I swear.
Down to the bottom left. SOS, $O, as he's known, for all of the prize money he's earned and won in the past. And the situation on this map is oftentimes get air control, don't lose it, harass, then max out with the best possible army, which usually has a lot of Void Rays in it, Brendan.
Yeah. We've seen players go as far as to get an earlier gateway in order to get, of course, the earlier Cybernetics core, in order to get a Stargate before even Warp Gate research, even before the Mothership core. That's how badly these players want to get that air control. Of course, we did have Myungsik versus Billy, something we got to mention from yesterday. Myungsik playing a very interesting way on this map, hiding double Stargate going into, I think it was 6 Phoenixes for harass, but then switching entirely into super heavy gateway with the mortal timing. With the Archons and going for the kill against Billy.
Well, I thought we might have a Nexus first for Squirtle. But it looks like he's just going to make his gateway a lot later. Going into his gases also a little bit later. So he's getting a lot more minerals so he can have a faster Nexus, it seems to be, when he's ready for that, which will be pretty soon. He may also add a second gate. I don't think that's what we're going to see. But... I mean, it's just not really a map that's very or a strategy that's very viable for the map. So, core much, much faster here for SOS. Not a rushed core, but just earlier. A late core for Squirtle is a better way to describe this.
Yeah. And thankfully for SOS, he's going to get the scout right now. And if Squirtle was paying attention to the direction that probe is coming in, he's got to know it's in the bottom left. Looks like he's going to go in that direction now and get that scout on. So these guys are going to know where they are on the map very early on. Oh, wow. I guess coming from that angle, he wouldn't know exactly where. Could definitely be from that angle in the bottom, or rather the top right.
Yeah, it was just past the point where you turn and make that distinction, so there's no way for him to be 100% certain about the timing.
Stargate, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is, because he's not going to scout for a long time the Stargate that's coming up. Had he guessed correctly, or had been able to get that insight from the probe coming towards his base, he would have been able to come in and see the Stargate before a scout could be denied. Twilight Council comes up here for Squirtle.
Very interesting going Twilight Council here. I mean, SOS has rushed out the Cyber Core in order to get the Stargate up super, super fast, and he's definitely going to get the air control. We said it time and time again, that is so important.
Goes Phoenix right away, and also Chrono Boosts it and sends it to Scout. If he intercepts an Oracle, he's going to be like, why did you ever make an Oracle on this map? And if he runs into another Phoenix, they can just fly away from each other, and that's the end of the story. But he gives him a good scout, and it is going to be Dark Shrine. Now, Dark Shrine could, in Wings of Liberty, directly counter Phoenix play because you don't have detection. But in Heart of the Swarm, you can get an Oracle out, but still, if he just skips the Robo entirely, that could be painful. But the thing is, the Dark Shrine is in the main base, so there's like no mystery here.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure the idea behind this, because SOS going Stargate, he's going to know right away. He's oh my God! Doesn't scout the entire base, and that is huge. He needs that piece of information, or this could be really deadly out of Squirtle.
I think he just knows. He's like, no, this is they're just DTs. You would never blink against me on one base. It's got to be DTs, and he starts the Robo anyways without seeing it. Either that, or he knows a possibility is there, and he's going to see it this time.
Yep, there he goes. Sees the Nexus as well. Now he's got actually these two Phoenixes harassing on that Mothership Core. Going to have to put down the Photon Overcharge. Not going to commit to that. Just going to fly away. Doesn't want to lose those Phoenixes. Needs to keep them up.
So making robotics in this matchup is not really, it's not really useful except for just, being able to defend against DTs. But these Choya Stargates are going to be pretty nice.
Yep, and they're becoming so standard. It's happening over and over again. You don't have the air control right in the beginning. Your opponent goes for the air, and your build gets scouted. You cancel it, you go double Stargate. You're going to have a lot of Phoenixes out as long as you hide them, and you can just overwhelm the air army of SOS 100%.
He needs to check for these. If he's really practiced this map enough and watched the games that have been played on this map, this is absolutely something he wants to check for. He's continuing his own Phoenix production, and he is checking around the map a little bit with his probe right now. And let's check that path. Okay, so we'll see this. And it's actually going to see it pretty soon.
Yeah, Greencaster's not so sure if I was going to see it. It's pretty funny.
But if he actually gets the scout on that and sends his Phoenixes over with all of them together, I think he might actually be able to camp them, and then that would just end the game.
There is the scout, so he's going to know.
If he sends all of his Phoenixes there right now and camps those Stargates, the game ends.
They're far away. They're at the base of Squirtle right now, but he should have enough. And he's throwing down another Stargate, but it looks like he doesn't want to commit to it, just going to come back home.
Well, this is crazy, because, this is like a numbers game, right? This is like, okay, I have more Phoenixes than you, I win. And he saw that, too. Now he doesn't have the Phoenix count he needs anymore, so he can't do it.
Well, he's still up 5-4, but I don't know. I think he's being a little bit too passive. Where's he going? Doesn't see these coming in, and actually could cut them off here.
Hallucinated Phoenix to tank is exactly what he needs. And he's just going to fight on top of this here, but more hit points for a moment there, scaring him away. And he still doesn't have double Phoenix production.
There he goes.
He's dare I say it, he's kind of botched this, I would say. It's not like he's lost the game, but he lost that huge advantage he had from scouting this.
Yeah, just didn't. He was too passive with it. I feel like he could have gone him right away. He just wasn't sure in himself. He didn't have the confidence to go for the attack, and now we have Stalkers coming across the map.
He's just going to bring these Stalkers with his army and try to use that extra DPS to help win the fight. He has this momentum going for him. There's still not double Phoenix production. The Phoenix count is 7-6, so he's up 1 Phoenix SOS. That is okay now, up 2. But those Stalkers going to help out quite a bit. And he's got to be careful how he engages this. Is he going to try to engage into the Nexus cannon? I don't think that's a good idea, and actually loses a Stalker here.
Yeah. Keeping up with the double Phoenix production is SOS. Now 8-7. Now tying up 8-8. These guys both have 2 Stargates. It's just basically very even. I think SOS with that attack, he does go up with 1. But if you keep those Phoenixes well microed, you hide the amount and the number. They don't have the number right in front of their face. SOS can't just be like, oh, I have 10-8, I'm going to go attack. He's not exactly sure. He's got to put the Observer in first. Wants to see exactly how many Phoenixes. Once he counts those, because they're not microed into a ball, maybe he goes for it.
Yeah, that's actually really important. I'm glad you mentioned that, because that Observer gives him this extra knowledge. He keeps trying to hide the numbers, but
if he just counts that, he should see that he has enough. Maybe he doesn't want to fight right over the Stargate or something, or maybe, you know, the Warpings can go in on that pylon.
Well, Fleet Beacon goes down back at home, whereas a 3rd Stargate is the choice for SOS. Looks like with his Observer, he's more so identifying that he's keeping on his Phoenix production. That Hallucination Scout, or the Hallucination, whatever you want to call it, Sentry, is going to make, is actually going to be able to tank a little bit here. Guardian Shield actually is what he wants to use that for. Oh, an interesting choice. And that's a massive armor upgrade because it gets applied twice to every single one of these Phoenixes. And that is huge. He's going to fight underneath that. And that may actually just be game ending. Look at that.
Could be.
That was not what I was expecting. He loses the pylon as well to the Zealot that he brings over. And he's saying, and that, you know what? That is like, lift my Zealot, I dare you. That's too much DPS lost. And that Guardian Shield, that Sentry, is the hero of this game.
Even getting a nice little zoom in on the Sentry. Everybody, nice slow clap for that guy. But here comes the follow-up. SOS coming into the base, can snipe down that Mothership core. The Photon Overcharge is there, but he's going to first snipe out all those Phoenixes, walk away. He has the follow-up. He has the range on his Phoenixes, and Squirtle right now is not able to use both of those Stargates, of course, as the pylon did go down.
Yeah, he's going to have range for his grand total of 0 Phoenixes. Probably wants to cancel that.
Yeah,
I would guess.
May want to cancel that.
Might want to consider it.
Maybe.
It's not going to cancel it, actually. Okay, canceled it. That was scary.
At the last moment.
Well, I mean, he's going to try to go to Archons with this. This is not as bad of a situation as we saw on Sunday, where you get the Archons out, but I mean, this is just
Still
so many Phoenixes. He's just going to kill these units that are warping in because they have less hit points. He can lift up literally every Stalker. And as they die, the DPS gets greater as more and more Phoenixes are relieved of their lifting duty. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. A very passive way of handling it to start, but I really thought that Sentry was for a tank. You know, make some sort of air unit to tank those, but nope. Guardian Shield turns out pretty good situation when you have +1 armor getting applied twice because Phoenixes fire twice.
So good, man.
He's just going to kill. As long as he has energy, he's just going to keep lifting.
Yeah, we see Squirtle trying to eke out some Stalkers as he loses all of his probes. And, you know, he's got the rocks down, but the follow-up out of SOS is a bunch of Void Rays. And even some Gateway units in there.
Yep. He's just going to send the Void Rays across the map and end it. That's all she wrote.
That's the end of this story.
That wasn't unlike that. That chapter ended abruptly, and I turned the page, and it was like the back cover. I don't know. It's over. Void Rays here just going to finish these units off. They're all suspended in midair. GG. SOS takes the victory. 3 wins back-to-back for JINAIR. Starting off with an 0-2 deficit. And then, actually, I take it back. There was a 1-1 at the beginning. I was freaking out there for a second. I got too excited. That Sentry, man, it changed my world.
I want to go shake that Sentry's hand. But actually, I just want to go shake SOS's hand. That was very nicely played. Very nice idea.
Risky in some ways, but smart. What else is he going to use Sentry for but scouting? He already knows what's going on. He already has the Observer to tell if the Phoenixes are doing constant production or not. So
Squirtle got to be disappointed. This was his only match to prepare for. He had to assume he was even playing against SOS because it's the best Protoss player that JINAIR has, and he got what he expected and wasn't able to perform.
That's all there is to it, man. very, very